Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Yesterday I made a video talking about the transfer portal. I posed the question to you guys. Did Tennessee strike out in the portal? And I think most of you are in agreement. A lot of negativity floating around here, and it's really kind of hard to argue with that when you look at what Tennessee has added in the transfer portal. We knew they needed help on the interior of the offensive line, needed help on the interior of the defensive line, but also watching the mass exodus of wide receivers. And yeah, I'm not really concerned about the production of those wide receivers, but when you look at just bodies in that room, you're going to need to add a couple of guys in the transfer portal at that wide receiver position. As of now, the only thing you've added is Wendell Moy Jr., the interior offensive lineman from Arizona, and you've missed on guys like Angel Johnson, the running back from South Dakota State, David Gusta, defensive lineman from Washington State, JVR Suggs, James Thompson. The list goes on and on. We know how it played out with Josh Thompson, interior offensive lineman from Northwestern, supposed to commit to Tennessee. The news goes public. He gets a cash grab, and that's the way things work in the transfer portal. You also missed out on the Branch brothers. So I see why it feels like Tennessee has struck out in the portal, but we're also 1 week into it. And I can sit here and I can preach patience, and you can argue with me and say, no, there's not going to be any more good players available. Is that the truth? We're going to take a look at a couple of potential targets for Tennessee. You're also expecting a commitment from Amari Jefferson, 6 foot, 197-pound wide receiver from Alabama, 4-star prospect coming out of high school. He was an in-state kid. Tennessee was deep in his recruitment. He was Tennessee's D2 3A Mr. Football, had 1,400 yards and 20 touchdowns on 74 receptions in 2023. I think he will be a nice addition to this wide receiver room, and expect that commitment maybe today, maybe tomorrow. I think it should be coming sooner rather than later. But I want to take a look at a couple of targets and something that we have to question. Right, it's 2025 now. We're talking about the transfer portal. We're talking about NIL. We have to look at stuff like this, right? Malik Benson drops his top three. It was Oregon, it was Tennessee, it was Kansas State. Was Tennessee ever really in it for Malik Benson, or was this a cash grab? Was this a money move? Ballquest had kind of put out that Tennessee was never really interested here. A couple of phone calls, never set up a visit, but yet he takes to Twitter and drops the top three with Tennessee in it for leverage. Now, could we be seeing that with one of the two potential targets we're going to talk about? Maybe. We'll get into it. I need y'all to do that YouTube stuff for me, though. Smash the thumbs up below the video. Quick, free, easy. It does help this channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you're new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts here. We're not insiders. We don't pretend to be that. What we are is exactly what you are, fans, for the fans, by the fans. If you like what we do, subscribe, click the bell for notifications. You won't miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. We're going to be live later tonight, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, playing EA Sports College Football. You guys can come on, go head-to-head with me. We'll play Dynasty mode. You can buy players, create players, but more importantly, we talk Tennessee football the entire night. So come join us for that. Also, Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time, me and Coach Jay going to go live. We're going to break down this portal stuff. We're going to talk about it. Did Tennessee truly strike out? Where are we at? It's going to be a fun show. Come hang out Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. But let's get into it. We talk about Twitter graphics. Could this be one of those? Hayes Fawcett puts out the tweet just yesterday. News, Washington star transfer corner Thaddeus Dixon is down to 4 schools, he tells On3 Sports. Also mentioned there's a possibility he could return to Washington. Dixon is ranked as the #1 corner in the transfer portal for per the On3 industry rankings. Now, Thaddeus Dixon, 6'1", 186-pound senior corner from Washington. You see there on the screen the teams he mentions: Michigan, North Carolina, Tennessee, and Ole Miss. So first and foremost, he throws out there's a possibility that he could return to Washington. So when I saw this, one of you guys sent me this, a couple of you guys actually sent me this graphic, said, Boogie, what do you think about this? Do we have a shot? The first thing that goes through my mind is this is a cash grab. This is throwing out the big spenders. We know Ole Miss likes to spend money in the portal. We know Tennessee allegedly, it has been said that Tennessee is going to be aggressive. It has been said that Tennessee is going to be a big spender, but you and we continue to wait to see when Tennessee is going to be that big spender. Now, he's listed as the #1 corner in the transfer portal. Does Tennessee really need a corner? Would it make sense to go drop a bag on a corner when you've got Jermod McCoy, you've got Ricky Gibson for a couple of more years each? I don't know that really makes sense. There were some talks of possibly switching him to safety. Is that something he would be willing to do? I have no clue how realistic that really is. What's his relationship with Coach Inge, who is now at Tennessee, but they would have been at Washington together in 2023. But as a player, man, sign me up. Played 2021, 2022 at Long Beach City College in Southern California, JUCO. So he's got those extra years of eligibility. As a freshman in JUCO, had 34 tackles, 2 picks, 8 pass breakups. As a sophomore, 43 tackles and 3 interceptions. He transferred to Washington in 2023, where he played in 14 out of 15 games, had 26 tackles, 6 passes defended, and an interception. Then in 2024, he played in all 13 games, started 12, didn't start the bowl game, but started all 12 games during the regular season, had 43 tackles, 10 passes defended, 1 interception, and 1 forced fumble. Austin Price last night in the Monday Night Chat said, unless he wants to come in and compete, I don't see it happening. Brent Hubb says, let's see if he visits first. But again, puts out the graphic. Is this a leverage move? I don't think this is a very realistic option. We'll see what happens. We'll continue to monitor it. Where are the targets, right? That's the thing. Are we going to be aggressive or not? And I've talked to several of you guys throughout the last couple of days saying, what's going on? Like, we're not seeing any names. We saw that big number of names. We saw some visits scheduled. You got Wendell Moy Jr. You didn't add anybody else. So where are the visits? Where are the news? Where are the talking points? Well, this is a little bit more realistic option that, again, Austin Price over at VolQuest put out. I like this one. We know we need help on the interior of the offensive line, and I get it. It's not flashy. It's not sexy. It's not some big wide receiver. It's not some safety or somebody that gets the engagement on Twitter. But this is a guy that I like. More realistic option. Last night, AP was asked about potential names in the portal, and his response was, there are a few names that Tennessee's looking at, but there's no point in talking about them because they could end up like the Branch brothers. But he did throw a name out there, Emmanuel Pregnon, USC offensive lineman, entered the portal as a grad transfer, ESPN has learned. The former Wyoming transfer started 25 games at left guard over his 2 seasons with the Trojans. Now, I ask you, again, when it goes back to what AP said there, few names Tennessee's looking at, but there's no point in talking about them. Is there no point in talking about them, or is it more of a Josh Thompson from Northwestern type of deal, right? The name gets out. He's set to commit at noon on Christmas Eve. Josh Thompson is going to commit to Tennessee, the Western interior offensive lineman. Pete Nakos gets wind of the commitment. He puts out an official prediction 10 minutes, guys, 10 minutes before Josh Thompson is going to, this is not allegedly, this is not rumors, Josh Thompson was going to commit to Tennessee at noon. Pete Nakos puts out the update 10 minutes prior to the commitment. Josh Thompson's phone blows up. LSU makes an offer he can't refuse, and Tennessee misses out because they're not willing to match. How much money is he worth? So is that why it's harder for us to get this information now? Because once it goes public, once it gets out there, it becomes negotiations. You show your cards, right? Is that what is truly going on? Is that why things are so quiet? I don't know. That's Boogie's tinfoil hat conspiracy theory. Emmanuel Pregnon, 6'5", 320-pound offensive guard. He's a senior at USC. I was watching a USC YouTube channel right before recording this video I like to get a gauge of their fan base and how they feel about losing a player. You know, you see Nathan Laycock in the portal or Nate Spillman in the portal. You come to Talkin VAWLS. We're not too worried. Do you get excited if he transfers to your school? Well, Emmanuel Pregnon, listen to this USC YouTube channel, called him their best offensive lineman this season, and he would have been their best offensive lineman coming back next year. Talked about his strength, his athleticism, talked about how he made Bruce Feldman's freak list. Currently on a visit to Oregon. We'll see if Tennessee gets him on campus next. He played at Wyoming. Here's his bio from USC. After not appearing in any games in 2020, and redshirting in 2021, moved into the starting lineup at right guard for Wyoming as a redshirt sophomore in 2022. Graded out as the number 3 guard in the Mountain West, according to Pro Football Focus. Earned freshman All-American recognition. Started all 11 games he played in and only allowed 2 sacks. After Wyoming, transfers to USC, started 25 games over 2 seasons, but this past year, 2024, he played in all 13 of the Trojans' games, finished with USC's highest PFF overall grade on offense, and also the highest grade as a pass blocker, which is something we have seen with the guys that Tennessee is targeting in the portal on the offensive line. They're looking for pass protection. Goes on to say, for his efforts, he was named 2024 All Big Ten second team. Scott Schrader, who is part of We Are SC, which is USC's On3 site, says, although Emmanuel Pregnon has accepted USC's NIL offer after last month and played in the Las Vegas Bowl, I learned today that he was offered $150,000 more from Oregon. Excuse me. He goes on to say there may be another school in the mix like Tennessee, but definitely Oregon. That is the latest I've got. So Oregon offers, excuse me, 150,000 more. Is Tennessee willing to spend? We're going to be aggressive. We're going to be big spenders. Are they confident? That's something you got to look at too when you're talking about striking out and missing. Is Tennessee confident in this bunch that they're returning? Are they confident in the freshman wide receivers? We don't know what goes on behind the scenes, but that's why we are fans, and that's why we speculate, and that's what I want you to do right now in the comment section. Does Tennessee have a shot with Thaddeus Dixon or Emmanuel Pregnon? Do you think it's over? Because, look, we're only a week into this thing, and I get it. The number of guys in the portal is rapidly shrinking. You do have the college football playoffs still going on. We'll see how it plays out. Some of you guys asked me, what about the post-spring practice portal window? That's really not where your starters are at, but I do think you could add some depth there, and I think that's what we're looking for here is depth. Jump in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. As always, smash that thumbs up on the way out the door. Go check out the Talkin VAWLS merchandise, bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. Also, if you like what we do, we need your help. We need your support, specifically now that the season is over. Think about hitting that join button right down below. It's besides subscribe. It helps support the channel. It's only $1 a month. You get custom Talkin VAWLS emojis, access to fan call-in shows, all kinds of fun perks and benefits. The links are in the description for the merchandise, for the memberships, all that good stuff. But that is going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.